They want to see if we still got it.
Oh, is that all? Because I've got workmen digging a hole in my backyard for my new pool as we speak.
You rent that house.
Maybe I start on 3, but with confidence. This used to be so easy.
Hey! Listen up. We've done this before, and we're gonna do it again. America's gonna be quoting our new catchphrases in no time. And if anyone has any doubts, just leave it all to me.
This is not a drill, iCarly fans. It is actually happening. A revival of the beloved Nickelodeon TV series is in the works, and it seems like the original cast will all come back and reprise their roles. The new Paramount streaming service called Paramount Plus has apparently ordered a revival of iCarly. All we know so far.
A few months prior, we had the revelation that Paramount Plus, formerly known as CBS All Access, would be bringing back the beloved Nickelodeon sitcom, iCarly, this time for an adult audience. It also appears that Dan Snyder is not involved with this revival, which, good. However, Jennette McCurdy also will not be returning to this revival due to the toxic and scarring experiences she faced at Nick, and I don't blame her.
The news was broken by TV Line, and it has set the internet completely ablaze. The revival will apparently be a grown-up reboot of the show. Miranda Cosgrove will return to play the role of Carly Shay, alongside Nathan Kress and Jerry Traynor, who will reprise their roles of Freddie Benson and Spencer Shay. The show originally ran from 2007 to 2012, with the series ending when Carly finally moved to Italy with her dad. No other details have yet been revealed about the revival, though. Nothing has been mentioned about if Jennette McCurdy will be back as Gibby or if Noah Monk will be back to play Sam either. Hopefully they will also make a return, but bringing back Miranda Cosgrove was the primary objective, though, since she was always the star of the show. Hopefully we will also get to see Sam's toughness and humor, because if she does not return, it will be sorely missed. The same can definitely be said about the weirdness and overall eccentric behavior that Gibby brought to the story each week. But there is good news, though, as apparently the show producers have put offers on the table for Noah and Jennette. So it is now entirely up to the actors to decide if they wish to join the reboot and bring the whole gang back together or not. It seems that Jennette McCurdy might not take up the offer after all, though. She had her Twitter bio read that she once was a childhood star, and that lent a lot of psychological trauma. The bio has since been deleted, but if these were the thoughts of Jennette, it might not be the right thing for her to return to her old life. She has also discussed how she found it upsetting that she had to be a role model for so many kids out there in the world when she herself was still just a child. Let's just hope that she is in a better place now. Fingers crossed, though, that we will eventually get to see all of our favorite characters all back in action. This news comes near the earlier news that other popular Nickelodeon and Disney Channel shows were to be revived too. With the boom of streaming services all around us, more and more of our nostalgic shows will soon be returning. Drake Bell has already teased that a Drake and Josh revival will come back, and Hilary Duff's Lizzie McGuire reboot is still in the works. But let's get back to the iCarly reboot. There already might be a possible reboot storyline that the show's new team could always fall back on. This idea came from Miranda Cosgrove herself in a 2016 interview. She touched on the story's focus on Carly and her adventures with her brother Spencer. She went to suggest that if there was a possible reboot, it should be more focused on what happened to Carly's mother and her relationship with her. As fans of the show would already know, Carly's father was a U.S. Air Force pilot stationed in a submarine. But the show never felt the need to explore the story and life of Carly's mother. The primary audience being adults, there is a huge chance for the writers to explore much more mature and deeper themes now. It allows for deeper storylines to be plotted and could potentially help give the show an abundance of new viewers and critical praise. The original creator of the show, Dan Schneider, will not return at the helm, though, as he is busy in fighting various lawsuits and court cases. Instead, the show will now have 2 new producers. Jake Hogan and Ali Schoten will be head honchos this time. This definitely is the right move and already separates the reboot from any controversy generated by the original creator. Filming has apparently not yet started, but it is soon to begin. This is exciting and has already started the rumor mills churning. There are people saying that the series will become available nearing the end of 2021 or the start of 2022. To be very honest, that is not that bad of a wait, as the announcement of the reboot has been very recent. Questions that need to be answered.
The return of iCarly has an insane amount of potential. The digital landscape has changed since the original show's run, which means there are so many stories here that haven't been told. Based on everything we've learned, this may not be what you're expecting, but that's not a bad thing either. It could be fun to watch.
Okay, so back to iCarly's mom. It has remained one of the greatest mysteries for fans of the show, and it felt like we might never get an answer, or at least it would never be given any screen time. What exactly is the backstory of the Shea siblings' mom? It is obviously clear that Carly and Spencer lived on their own in the Seattle penthouse, but still, the only family members that they communicated with was their dad and sometimes their grandfather. When Granddad tried to make Carly move in with him in Yakima, it seemed like the decision was mostly left up to him and their father, the Air Force officer. Everyone already knows that Carly loves her dad, but we would love to learn a little bit more about her mom, too. Another burning question that should be explored is the goat. One of the funniest running gags on the show has to do with a goat debacle and Carly's birthday. Fans have always been eager to know exactly what happened that gave her the shivers during that moment. Do not talk about what the goat did has been the code for a decade now. Whatever happened at that petting zoo must have been a really serious violation. But maybe 20-something-year-old Carly will be able to talk about it. Socko. That name has been heard by every iCarly fan for ages. Spencer's buddy had no shortage of favors and gifts doled out to him. It is also nearly impossible to count how many times Socko's name came up during the run of iCarly. But the invisible best friend was also responsible for the motorcycle Spencer gifted to Sam, an endless array of socks, and even art supplies for different projects of Spencer. Fans have so far just seen a partial glimpse at the arm of Socko during one episode. Some are already suggesting a theme special centered around Socko called I Meet Socko when the reboot airs. It would be great to finally see Spencer's best friend. Let's hope it happens. Lastly, it would be amazing to know if Neville is locked up. Neville Papperman never really reformed his ways and changed his behavior on iCarly. His last appearance was in an episode of Sam and Cat. There, he was actually caged in a hospital like Hannibal Lecter, and he actually broke free. But was he ever caught, though? If not, the rue of the day, schemes and Nevillosity, may not be over just yet. And as the new reboot is going to be more grown up, Neville's antics could now reach adult levels of brazenness. It would be so much fun to see the gang going professional and working as adults, especially seeing what Spencer does with his art. As for Carly and Freddie, they could have gone anywhere, and the possibilities of where they are now are endless. Cast reaction.
Jennette McCurdy most likely won't return for the iCarly reboot. If you didn't know, earlier this week an iCarly reboot was announced. All of the main cast was confirmed that they're coming back except for Noah Monk, who plays Gibby, and then Jennette McCurdy, who played Sam. I'm very hopeful that Noah Monk will end up joining the cast sooner or later. He probably just has to work out a deal with the ABC show that he's on. I'm a lot less hopeful for Jennette's return. I would honestly be really surprised if she decided to come back. Jennette's been pretty open about how traumatic her childhood, and I think Nickelodeon did her really dirty.
The cast has generally been fairly tight-lipped about the whole thing so far. It is understandable as well, since the announcement of the reboot is not that long ago. In January of 2021, Miranda Cosgrove did share a photo from what appeared to be on set from the filming of the show. She went on to say that iCarly had been a gigantic part of her childhood, and she had a lot of memories from her time making the show back in the day. She said that she felt like she grew up with the fans and made a second family amongst her cast members. She expressed her desire that the revival would bring the people who have been loyal fans of the original show a lot of joy. The new show is being made with all of the old fans in mind, she said reassuringly to old iCarly fans. She also gave the same disclaimer that although she hoped families would enjoy the show together, they did aim to make the show more mature and follow the adult lives of the cast this time around. So, to sum it all up, it looks like we'll definitely get the iCarly adult reboot that we wanted. But it is not clear as of yet if the whole of the original cast will be in the show. On top of this, as the announcement has been very recent, there is no premiere date given or much detail about plot lines. Let's just hope the new writers and producers keep the show's wit and charm intact. That's a wrap for our video on iCarly 2, officially confirmed returns in Reboot. How excited are you for the new Reboot? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for videos like this. See you in the next one.